Hello, can anybody hear me? I think I'm live. Yes, I'm live. I'm an idiot when it comes to these things, by the way. Anyway, hello, my name is Sabrina. This is Out of Body. Welcome to my channel. And yeah, tonight I'm going to be reading some stories for you guys, just from Reddit. And that's about it. I changed my background. For those of you who have been here for a while, you'll notice. This week I kind of refrained from uploading because I wanted to work on my channel a little bit. I kind of wanted to just think of some ways to improve my channel, and one of those ways is changing my background. I kind of wanted to create something that's a little bit more inviting and kind of relaxing and more cozy or whatever, if you will. So, oh, and I've got a nice little poster back here. I thought I'd put the logo behind me. And I really want to thank those of you who have subscribed here in the last week especially. I've gotten kind of an influx of subscribers recently, and I feel bad because I didn't upload it all this week, but like I said, I was trying to really think of some ways to grow my channel and to kind of make it better for you guys, so that's why I did it. But I will be uploading, as usual, 3 times a week starting next week. Yeah, if any of you are watching right now, feel free to comment or something and say hi or say hi to each other or whatever. I'm going to go ahead and get into the first story, but I will read the chat once I'm done reading this story. If you're here, say hi, and here we go. The first story is called The Alarm Clock, and I found it on Reddit in the subreddit Short Scary Stories. And it is by username JLB or 7, like JLBOR7. Anyway, let's get going here. The Alarm Clock. Oh, and if you can't hear me very well, let me know. I know my camera's doing some weird stuff right now. Because yeah, I'm using my smartphone right now, so I'm not sure how well my microphone is on there. So just let me know if you can't hear me. And I'll try to move it closer or something. Anyway, here we go. So, I recently bought a new alarm clock because I was struggling with waking up in the morning. It takes a lot to get me up and out of bed. After a great deal of shopping, I found that this one was so loud that I couldn't even use it on the loudest setting. I decided to set the alarm clock on my desk across the room to force myself out of bed to turn it off. It has been a huge improvement on getting me up early in the morning. Yeah, I gotta do the same thing sometimes. About a month ago, I started to occasionally wake up in the middle of the night with no knowledge as to why I woke up. I sleep with a loud fan, so it tends to block out the loud noises outside, which usually buys me some uninterrupted sleep. I didn't really give this any thought. I have a bad habit of checking the alarm clock for the time before going back to bed, and that is exactly what I did. It was odd. My alarm clock read 00, like just 2 zeros, not even like 12 o'clock, just 00. I didn't give it much thought and went back to sleep. Each time this happened, the alarm still beeped when it was supposed to, and displayed the correct time by the morning. This has happened a couple of times a week. It seemed very minor at the time. About 10 minutes ago, however, I was jolted awake. At first, I couldn't figure out why. I looked over at the alarm clock and it displayed 00. I decided to check my cell phone charging on the nightstand. It read exactly 3 a.m. Just as I was about to go back to sleep, I discovered why I woke up. The loud fan in my room was not on. The power was also out. And I'm assuming that this person has an alarm clock that plugs into the wall. So the power was out, but the alarm clock is somehow on. So he continues to say it didn't make sense. I turned to look at the alarm clock again. The 00 was still there, glowing a very dark red. And as I was about to get out of bed to check it out, I immediately froze as I saw it blink. this definitely is no longer a minor problem. And that's where it ends. So that one's kind of a cute short story. I thought, well, maybe not cute, but kind of creepy. But I thought it was interesting because it's, you know, I mean, you could look at it as like, oh, it's the alarm clock. It's like the 2 zeros are like eyes and it's watching you. And you could see that as kind of creepy, or you could see it as, I don't know, I guess cute if you're like that. But anyway, let's see. Let me get to the next story here. All right. And once again, just let me know if you're here, and if you can hear me okay, because I'm using my smartphone right now, and I'm not sure that the audio is picking up very well, so just let me know if you can hear me, or if you can't. Obviously, I guess if you can't hear me at all, then you have no idea what I'm saying, but hopefully you can hear me. Anyway, okay, let's see. The next story is called The Handyman. And is also found in the Short Scary Stories subreddit. I get a lot of my stories from there, as well as Our No Sleep. This one is by Mr. Halloween. Alright, The Handyman. I've woken up to handprints on my French door for 6 months now. At first, I thought it was my kid getting his grubby mitts everywhere. The prints were always low and greasy beyond belief. Admittedly, though, it didn't take long for that theory to go out the window. A heavy thunderstorm tore through our neighborhood one night, and the poor little guy came running into my room, terrified, pleading to let him sleep with me. Of course I obliged, but that morning was the worst yet. Every square inch of the window was coated in slick, greasy handprint stains. I could have counted thousands of stains. But the layers were too numerous to be able to properly estimate. I spent the next 2 days Windexing that shit off. I had to call in sick just to get it done. But then another storm came along, and the same thing happened again. The glass was opaque with oil and grease and fingerprints. The pattern continued for months, 1 or 2 prints a night, until a storm came along and then the window was covered. I even tried staying up those nights, but when I stayed awake, the prints didn't come. Filming was no different. I was at my wit's end. We were about to consider moving out when I finally ran into it. I was walking out late at night to get a glass of water when I rounded the corner and saw it there, hanging, pulsating, an amalgamation of arms. It had the torso of a man barely clinging to life, its spine and ribs threatening to tear through the fragile skin held taut against them. It was hanging upside down, lowering itself out from one of the ceiling panels. What it was holding on to was beyond me, but I could count maybe 24 arms disappearing into the abyss above. Whew, that's creepy. I mean, I'm afraid of spiders, so something like that, I would just be done. Okay. Its other appendages hung in front of and around it. They seemed to stem from where shoulders usually are, but where a single upper arm usually connected to a single forearm. It instead connected two bones spreading like branches from a great oak. It hung from the ceiling with its 100 or so hands filling the space, its network of limbs all pointing away at horrific angles, but tending towards the window, weaving together into a mesh of quivering flesh that was wet with sebum, glistening in the moonlight as it placed all the hands it could against the window. Eek. It held them there almost longingly. And then, my dumbass dropped the glass I was holding. I can still hear the sound of cartilage popping as its head swiveled towards me. My first thought was, I'm screwed. But it just smiled, nodding in acknowledgement, and with the quiet sounds of meat sliding along wood, it slowly rose back to the ceiling. The whole time it maintained eye contact, smiling, until it disappeared, and the roof settled with a slight creak. We move into a new house tomorrow. Yeah, I'd be doing the same thing, because that's pretty creepy. Like I said, I like bugs okay, but spiders, I don't do spiders. No, and that sounds too spider-like, so nope. Nope, just nope. Hey, no LOL, how's it going? Can you hear me okay? I'm curious, because I'm using my phone to do this. I used my computer last time I live streamed, and I had my microphone then, and I don't have my microphone hooked up to my smartphone, so if you think about it, let me know if you can hear me, just so I know. I'm going to take a quick little sippy. And let's see here. Got one more story I can do. This one's a little bit longer. Let's see. And this one I found on No Sleep. This one is called We Bought a Toy Train Set at a Garage Sale. And it's by Blair Daniels. She's pretty popular on Reddit, I think. I assume she. But I think I've read one of her stories before, possibly on my channel. But she's a really good writer, and this is one of her stories. So anyway, hey guys. If you're just now entering the room, welcome to Out of Body. My name is Sabrina, and I've got a new background today. I thought this week I would try to find some ways to just kind of make my channel a little bit more inviting, a little bit more homey and cozy, so I created this little corner here in my room. And I also got my little poster here that says subscribe. And anyways, I'm going to be resuming my regular uploads this next week. This past week I kind of took a break so that I could figure out, kind of analyze my channel and figure out some ways to make it better for you guys. So I actually have another background that I'm working on. I forgot to mention earlier, it's kind of a DIY project, and yeah, if it goes well, then I'll have that for a video next week, and I may even do a video on how I made my background too, because it's pretty cool. I got all the supplies at the Dollar Tree, so if it actually works and actually looks good, then it'll make a pretty cool video. So anyway, I'm gonna get going on this story here. Once again, it's called We Bought a Toy Train Set at a Garage Sale. We found the train set for $5 at a garage sale. I couldn't believe my eyes. Something like this would sell for $100 or more at the local toy store. It was a complete set with railroad ties that fit together like pieces of a jigsaw puzzle, a beautiful red engine with painted gold details, and 10 train cars that hooked up to each other. And it had all the extras: little spruce trees made of wood and plastic needles, a few stoplights that flashed for train crossings, and even a little conductor man. "Get it," Jake replied. "For $5, that's a steal." We happily loaded it into the car. As soon as we got home, we started setting it up. "This is so cool," Danny said, greedily grabbing the pieces from our hands. In less than 10 minutes, he'd snapped the pieces together to form a circular track. He was pushing the trains along while making choo-choo sounds. "Danny, let me put some batteries in it for you. Then we'll really see it go choo-choo." He reluctantly handed over the engine car. I turned it over in my hands, smooth black plastic, but no battery compartment. "Oh, I thought it was one of those electric ones," I grumbled to Jake. It's still worth the $5, he replied. "Besides, Danny loves it." And he did. For hours I heard him choo-chooing in the family room. Before long, the track was snaking into the kitchen, in front of the cat's bed and next to the oven. I internally swore as I tripped over it half a dozen times. That night, Danny fought bedtime. "I want to play with the train more," he complained, as I pulled on his dog pajamas. Tomorrow you can play with it all you want, I replied, pulling the blankets over him. I promise. Then Jake and I retired to our room. After watching a bit of TV, we were fast asleep. Vroom! I jolted awake. A low rumbling noise filled the house, like distant thunder. That's weird. I didn't think it was supposed to storm. Vroom! But it didn't fade, like thunder would. It was a constant rumbling noise, accompanied by a low click, click, click sound. An earthquake? A bomb? Jake, did you hear that? I whispered. Silence. I stretched my hand out to shake him. Hey, Jake. My hands fell onto empty covers. Jake? I sprung out of bed. I walked into the bathroom, but it was empty. Jake? I whispered, walking out into the hall. Jake, where are you? That's when I saw that Danny's bedroom door was hanging open, and his bed was empty too. My heart thumped painfully in my chest. Jake? Danny? I yelled, running down the stairs. The rumbling sound got louder. Where are you? I flicked the lights on. The room was empty, except for the train. It slowly moved along the tracks, rumbling and clicking as it went. Why is the train on? I thought. I gingerly stepped over it and peered into the kitchen, but it was empty. Maybe Danny had trouble sleeping and Jake started playing train with him to calm him down. But then, where are they now? Woo, woo. I love the sound effects in the story, by the way. The sharp sound of the train's whistle broke me from my thoughts. I looked down at it as it chugged along, and then I remembered. How is it moving? It doesn't have batteries. I snatched it off the track. The wheels still spun, almost angrily, as if the train was mad. I ripped it off the tracks then. I looked it over again. The smooth plastic bottom, the meticulously painted exterior. Then my eyes fell to the windows. And then the two pairs of hands pressed against the glass. I brought the train closer to my face. There were two figurines inside that I hadn't noticed before. Frozen still, hands pressed against the glass, mouths painted wide open. The larger one wore a white t-shirt. The smaller one wore dark blue pajamas with little dogs on them. The train clattered to the floor. And that's where it ends. Did you guys get it? It's kind of similar to if you've ever watched the show Twilight Zone, there's a similar episode in the Twilight Zone series back in like the 60s where there's this little girl that has a dollhouse, and I'm trying to remember who ends up in the house. I think it's her father or something. Like he's mean to her or something, and then at the end of the story, he ends up being one of her dolls in her dollhouse. So this is kind of similar, like this train set. You know, this woman can't find her husband or her son, and then at the very end, she picks up the train car, and it's little figurines of her husband and her son in the car, like they became part of the train car. So that's kind of creepy. That's definitely Twilight Zone right there. I love that one. The person that wrote that, Blair Daniels, I think she has a website. I'm going to shout that out real quick as soon as I find it, because she told me about it. Let me see here. Let's see. Well, if I can find it. I think it's just like blairdaniels.com or something, but I'll put it in the description down below too if you guys are interested. Definitely check out her content because she's a really good writer. Yeah, I'm a total failure right now. I can't find her. I can't find her message where she sent it to me. But anyway, it was Blair Daniels, and that's a really good story there. And anyway, that's all I have for tonight. But next week I'll probably try to have a little bit more stories prepared because I know it's only been like 20 minutes and I always feel like the stories are going to take longer and then they don't. So anyway, for those of you who tuned in, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. I really appreciate your time and everything. And yeah, stay tuned for some new videos this week. And I'm going to try to do a live stream like this every Friday night because I just think it's fun. I may end up changing it to a different time. I don't know. I feel like this time might be too early or too late for some people. But anyway, thanks again, you guys, for watching. And if you're watching this in the replay, thank you for watching. Give this a thumbs up if you want me to do this more often. And yeah, I'll see you guys next time. Bye.